Hi everyone, I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy. I am a soul therapist and an intuitive that connects with the angelic energy. This is my weekly energy reading for the collective, the weekly energy reading for each and every one of us. It gives you a sense of what's going on with the energetic weather in the same way that we would watch a weather report and get a sense of what we should wear for that day or what we need to prepare for. This is all about what's going on with the energy so that you can tap into what's going on and tap into how you can make the most of this energy. So that's what this weekly energy report is all about. We're going to be diving into what's going on. I would love to hear how you guys are doing. I'm filming this on Tuesday. And I'm curious, just like, are you guys feeling these like surges of energy that are flowing through us today? I read something about I think that we're up to about 20 solar flares that have happened today. So my body, my heart chakra, all of me is just absolutely buzzing. Feeling a little bit uncomfortable in some ways, but it's this buzzing. And when we get these solar flares, they are helping to support our energy fields and being able to essentially carry more light, because as the planet ascends, we are becoming more and more these light beings, these carriers of light. And so our bodies are physically adjusting to all of this. And that's in part what all of these solar flares are about. So that can feel uncomfortable. That can feel, you might feel a little anxious or like you're buzzing like I am, or just some sensations in the body or in the mind. For me, it's very centered in the heart today, but it might look different for each and every one of us. I'm also feeling this feeling, and I felt this coming in, but this sense that there's this discomfort, and I'm calling this video something like the itch that you can't scratch, right? Because, and now I have an itch that I need to scratch, sorry. But there's this feeling right now, like that we're needing something, that we're wanting something, that something is happening. Like there's just this sensation, and it feels like an itch that we're not capable of scratching, that nothing that we're doing is really helping to support that. I think that even if we are being very self-aware and tuning into what it is that we're needing right now, I think certainly we can support ourselves with that. I always recommend that we do that when we're struggling with some of the energy. But I think right now it's hard to figure out exactly what that is that we're needing. And I think that this is explained by several different things. Number one, I've been talking for a while about the choices that we're making and how are we choosing to move forward with our lives, and what is this next year going to look like? What are our lives going to look like moving forward? And these choices that we have been making are helping to determine that. And I do feel like part of what this energy is us just feeling like some things are solidifying in our world. Some things are starting, like the foundation of it is starting to happen. The foundation of the future, the foundation of what it is that we have created through these choices that we've been making. And so this overall feels really positive. So why does it feel like an itch? Why does it feel uncomfortable? And I think that my experience with energy is that energy can feel uncomfortable, even if it's an excitement, even if it is an expansion. That's the word I want to use. There's very much an expansive energy that's happening right now, but that can feel uncomfortable, and it can feel like, something's happening with me, but I just don't know what that is. And that's what this is. So if we can start to kind of just tell our brains, this is the expansion, this is the development of some of the things that I've been creating through my choices, through my actions, our path is laying out and we're feeling it happen, right? And there's a lot of moving parts right now as well in terms of the energy. So what I mean by that is that yes, we all have things that are destined to happen in our lives, but we also have a lot of free will to create and to determine where our lives are going to go. And I feel like there's a lot of moving parts, and each choice, each interaction is helping to decide and to determine where things are going. We've been in this energy for quite a while, but I think that we feel all of these moving parts and we're all bouncing off of one another. And again, that can feel a little strange or very strange, or like we can't quite put our finger on what's happening. I want to remind you all, I talked about this last week, we go into Mercury retrograde. By the time we are meeting next week, we will be having a conversation about going into Mercury retrograde, because we'll go into that next week. I believe it's the 13th. So what is that? I think Wednesday. Okay. So we're going to be going into Mercury retrograde, and here in this energy now, I feel very strongly that we need to be giving ourselves to those things that matter the most to us. We need to be taking action. We need to be really giving, there's this final push to take care of these things that need to be taken care of. So I think some of this itch that can't be scratched is that too, like where we're feeling like we need to have some conversations. We're feeling like we need to take care of this task. We're feeling like we need to take some steps in the direction of some things that we want to create. Like we're feeling that pressure of this energy, and it's not meant to make us feel pressured, but I think that us as human beings, this is what we do with that. But we're feeling that pressure. We're feeling that need to do these things. And I think that if we can just pause and take a moment and ask ourselves, what do I need to be doing right now? What actions do I feel called to take? Because this energy to me, while we're being called to take action, we want to be taking, number one, only inspired actions, right? Actions that we feel inspired to take. But number two, we're really wanting to find a balance in this energy. So it is a push, but it's not a push to the point of burnout, right? We're going to want to be balancing this, because we now are in Mercury retrograde pre-shadow as well. And I think that we're feeling tired. I think this year has been emotional. I think it's, we've been working hard. There's been a lot going on. And so we want to make sure that we're still creating and allowing for that balance, while making sure that we're utilizing this week in the best way possible by taking care of the things that need to be taken care of. I have the busiest December. I have so many things that are set up. I kind of wish that I scheduled that a little bit differently, a little bit better in terms of allowing for more balance. But I'm finding that. I'm finding these moments throughout my day where I can just give myself some deep breaths and give myself a little bit of time for balancing in whatever way I'm needing in that time. And that's how I'm balancing that out. But I also felt really called to take care of a lot of things and to set up a lot of things throughout the month of my December. It just felt really important. And I think especially this week and last week was very important for that. I also feel like I need to say, when I was tapping into this energy, I think we're going to have some opportunities this week, and I am going to call it opportunities to take the high road in a situation, right? So there may be challenges that show up for us, and our knee-jerk response is to, attack or to project our stuff onto somebody else, or to hand the responsibility over because we're feeling more reactive. And I think that if we can take a minute and we can pause and we can really choose the way that we respond, that's going to set us up for best case scenario. And I think in a situation, some people are going to be acting messy this week and next week. And as we get further into Mercury retrograde, right, there's this messiness that's coming in, but we don't have to get caught up in the messiness. We don't have to get caught up in the drama. We don't have to lower our standards or the way that we choose to carry ourselves in a way that we're maybe going to regret, that we definitely are going to regret later on if we let ourselves sink to other people's levels. So I think that that's going to be really important, to just keep intentionally choosing the high road, to intentionally choose to handle things in a way that really sit right with you at the end of the day, right? Because you have to live with you at the end of the day. And we don't want to add in things that later on we're going to feel guilty about or feel bad about, or we let our emotions take over rather than allowing ourselves to take a pause and choose how we're going to respond to something. So I think when in doubt, take some time and choose how we respond. Choose how we're responding to scenarios, situations that are happening as well, because I think that we're closing out a lot of cycles right now, and that can be challenging, that can be difficult, but letting whatever wants to close out, letting ourselves sort of go with the flow with all of this energy and be led through this, because this is our expansion. This is us moving into a time where the things that we've been wanting to manifest are more accessible to us. I feel like there's so many manifestations that we could just reach out and almost touch right now. That's what energetically it feels like. And how we're going to touch those things is through handling things in a way that karmically is going to feel good, but also taking action in the direction of those things that we feel inspired to do. So that feels really important right now. And to just kind of go with the flow with all of these moving parts and the way that things are shaking up, because this definitely is a shakeup energy. I think next week will be more shakeup energy, but right now we're just feeling this expansion, and things are being shaken up to allow for our expansion. So understand that and know that as we're navigating this energy. How are you guys doing? How are you feeling? Are you noticing some of these things? Are you feeling that energy of your manifestations being so close you can almost touch it? Are you feeling these things? I would love to hear from you guys, whether you're watching this live on my Facebook, whether you're watching it on my YouTube channel. If you're watching on my YouTube and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Please like this video. It helps to support this stuff, and it helps these videos to connect with the people who are meant to connect with the messages, and that's really important. You guys have been so helpful and great with that, so I really, really appreciate it. So we're going to pull some cards, and with the intention that these cards are going to just help to build upon the messages that I have already delivered, and it's crazy. I love when the cards are just yep, hell yes, this is exactly what you were just talking about, right? And you'll see what I mean when I get to the cards. Wow, this is crazy. I love it. I also feel like this is hell yes energy, speaking of that, right? If it's not a hell yes, it's a no. I don't think that we're doing things that we don't want to do right now, or that we should be doing things that we don't want to do. Certainly there are things that we must do to function here on earth. That's not the stuff that I mean, but I think that we've come to a place where we're just so much more authentic and more connected to our authenticity, and so much is happening for us. There's so much. I talked about a lot of free will here this week, and a lot of choices that we're making, but a lot of destiny points here this week as well. Things are moving. Wow, this is crazy. Okay, I'm gonna just dive into the cards. You guys will see what I mean. King of Wands. This is go for it energy. This is hell yes energy. This is following what you feel inspired to do, letting that inspiration guide your actions, guide the things that you're feeling called to do, to say. If you feel something like lighting a fire underneath your ass, let it drive you, let it build you, let it bring you exactly where you're supposed to be. So definitely this week, if you're feeling called to take some actions, I would take some actions. Absolutely, because with Mercury Retrograde, we're going to see this energy slow down a little bit, and it's going to be more cloudy, more muddy, and tougher to do this stuff. So now's the time. This is an important week. This is really important energy, especially based off of these cards, but I was feeling that before. 3 of Wands. What did I say? Our manifestations feel so close that we could almost reach out and touch them. Look at these ships. He's watching his ships come in. He's been standing at the edge of this cliff, feeling them come in, feeling things happen, and now he's starting to see the evidence that it's actually happening, right? shit's getting real this week. This is my shit's getting real card. This is incredible. This is expansive energy. Wands are very expansive. We have 2 wands starting out the reading. They're fire. They're lighting a fire underneath us. They are driving us. And I also do feel like, I have to mention this, like, that in some cases, this might be like the ships are coming to pick us up, right? Like there's this sense of movement or willingness to move. Some people might be moving. There is kind of that energy, or making some major decisions, major changes this week that will change the course of our lives. So again, choose wisely. We've been talking about that for a long time, right? These are similar cards to last week too. I'm pretty sure we pulled the Page of Pentacles last week. The Page of Pentacles. This may be some kind of new money coming in, new approach, new ideas coming in terms of how you might make money or how you might be resourceful. I do feel like there's this energy this week of like, how can I be resourceful? How can I make the most of my circumstances to set myself up for the most success possible? And that's the energy that I feel in this card. It's also this energy of, where am I feeling called to plant a new seed? Where am I feeling inspired to plant a new seed? Where am I feeling like there might be new possibilities, right? It might be a conversation that you feel like you need to have. That might be the beginning of something. I wouldn't go into it with expectation, but just something that you're feeling called to say, something you're feeling called to do that can be a new beginning in some way. I don't think we're waiting till the new year to start with new beginnings. I think there's new beginnings that are brewing now, that are starting now and developing now. Some of you might be deciding to take a class or go back to school or learn something new, maybe potentially that will lead to more income or something like that. But there's some kinds of new beginnings for some stability in our lives. Like I said, maybe a new stream of revenue even coming in, because certainly it's an abundant energy. We also have the Empress. So we do have a lot of action here, right? But the Empress has already done a lot of her work. She has already laid down a lot of her foundation. She has focused on manifestation. She has put her intentions out there, and now she's ready to give birth to something. What are we giving birth to? What have we been growing in our bellies for 9 months, right? What are we giving birth to? What is this new beginning? And whatever we're giving birth to is abundant, is beautiful, is the fruit of our labor, the fruit of our trust in the universe and in God, and our trust in ourselves, right? Our hard work that we've been contributing. There's a lot of that. And I really feel like we're very magnetic here in this energy to create. So I'd be very aware of the energy that you're putting out, right? Because if we're creating from our thoughts and our words and what we're putting out there, then I would be very mindful about the kinds of conversations that we're having and the kinds of things that we're having. We only want to speak into existence those things that we want to have happen. What are you giving birth to this week? I would love to hear. Please comment if you know what that looks like, right? What have you been working on? Have you had the labor pains of something? Something has felt challenging. I think that there's some confusion a little bit about where the heck this energy is taking us. I've been talking about being in uncharted territory for a while, and I think there is still this confusion. Like, I'm taking these leaps of faith. I'm doing these things. Where the heck is this leading? And I think that we're not always completely clear about that, but I think that that's okay. It's just like, when it comes, it comes. When it happens, it happens. And I think that we're going to see some evidence of some things happening this week, because then we have the Wheel of Fortune. I think it's going to feel like a click, a shift, like, whoa, what was that? Almost like that's the sense that I get, where it's like, I don't know. Something feels like it shifted. Something feels like it clicked in, and now things are just starting to develop for me, or developing further. The next level is developing, but there's some kind of a development. There's some kind of feeling like luck has shifted in our favor. Well, to be honest, it's not always luck, right? This is karma. This is karma coming knocking and saying, what is the energy that you've been putting out to the world? And now I'm here to deliver that back to you. So I've been talking about this feeling like all of the hard work, all of the work that we've done on ourselves, all of the actions that we've been taking. I just like continue to feel this energy of that really starting to pay off. And there's very much a payoff energy here in this. So if you've been on the right side of justice, or you continue to choose to be on the right side of justice, being the best human you possibly can and putting out the best possible energy, I really feel like there's beautiful rewards, you know, and there's lessons in the times that we haven't, right? I'm not perfect. I don't always put out perfect energy or always the best vibes or make the best choices, make the best decisions, or, you know, like we all make mistakes. And so in those situations where we're getting that energy back that we've put out there, I think that there's a lesson in that. There's medicine in that. There's growth in that. So we can use this energy either way. But where is the direction that we're heading? The 10 of Cups. And this was on the bottom of the deck when I first picked it up. So I'm not surprised to see this here. 10 of Cups. Happiness and joy and fulfillment and just feeling so supported by the universe. I think we're going to feel so supported, but this isn't a kick back and feel supported energy. It's some of that, right? The Empress is that. The Empress is saying, I'm going to let it come to me. But also, King of Wands, where do I feel called to do my part? You know, where paying attention to these divine assignments or these steps that we're feeling called to take. I think that that's going to just help to move this energy forward that much more quickly. And we have a really powerful opportunity to do that this week before the energy starts to slow down a little bit more. So lots of good stuff. This is a very, very powerful energy, a very powerful week. Make the most of it. I hope that you do. That's exactly why I do these, so that we can utilize the energy and make the most of it. If you guys like this video, please like this video, please comment, please share this video, maybe tag somebody that you think needs to hear this or share this with them. All the important things. Thank you guys so much for your ongoing support. I appreciate you all. I will see you soon with another video. Take care, guys.